welcome to ABC Interactive English. I'm Nina.
And I'm Mike, and we are here with Day 2, Part B, Flowers Can Say a Lot. Now, I read that title, I went home, I got some flowers, I listened to them for like 2 hours. They didn't say anything. No, I started to imagine they were saying anything, and then I went to bed. No, so of course flowers don't talk. Don't go around listening to flowers because people will worry about you. But you can use flowers to communicate. You can also use flowers just to make a room look prettier, right? And you said you like flowers. Have you ever tried to arrange the flowers or, organize and place the flowers in a certain way to make them more beautiful?
Yes, I tried doing that.
Okay.
And it was okay. It looked better than before I tried to arrange it. But when I compared it to how they do it at the florist, then it was just like not so good. So maybe next time I will just pay the florist to do it for me.
It is one of those things you can take classes in, right? You can study this. But I'm kind of like you. I find it's easier than learning how to cook by going to a good restaurant and just eating the food. You can't really figure out how did they make the food so delicious. But yeah, when I buy flowers, it's fun to kind of pick out 2 or 3, and then sometimes the florist, which is what we call one of those professionals who works in the flower shop, they might say, oh, no, well, I think this one would be better, and then they take it, and then what you do is you watch them carefully. Yeah, and they put them together. They get those tiny little white ones that kind of act as like a little cloud of pretty little flowers. So you can actually learn a lot just by watching the person in the flower shop, and then you can go home. Or we also talked about, the Japanese art of flower arranging, which is much more complicated. They kind of stick things in these little blocks and they kind of stand up. It's almost like you're making a little forest of flowers, right?
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's not the kind of flowers you might carry at a wedding. It's more like a piece of art that might sit in the middle of a table. And I know some people who take lots of classes to do that, right?
Wow.
I think there's even like a license or something you can get. So you can really get pretty professional about this stuff, but you can also just do it for fun. If you like the flowers and you think they look pretty, that's good enough. So let's join Nicholas and Spry as they go to a flower arrangement class. Ooh.
Okay.
Nicholas is at a flower arrangement class.
Your flower arrangement is coming along very nicely, Nicholas.
Thanks, Ms. Spry. I'm trying to express hope with the irises and morning glories.
I can see that. You can also add peonies and orchids.
I know, but I plan to mix in some daisies or carnations to show thanks.
All right, so we are at a flower arrangement class. We're learning how to, organize flowers and put them in their most beautiful formation. We have Ms. Spry, that is our teacher, and Nicholas, that's kind of us, the people who are learning this new art. So let's get into it.
Okay, so I'll be Miss Spry.
Okay, you're the expert, I'm the student.
Yeah. So she says, your flower arrangement is coming along very nicely, Nicholas. Okay, so far she's doing pretty well. He's doing pretty well, right?
Yeah, teacher is saying, good job, student. You are learning quite well. Let's see what Nicholas is doing. He says, thanks, Miss Spry. Of course, when your teacher compliments you and says, good job, you say, thanks very much. And then he explains what he's doing as they're looking at it. He says, I'm trying to express hope with the irises and morning glories. Wow, alrighty. So he's communicating with flowers here. He mentions 2 kinds of flowers. They're irises and morning glories. That is the name of the flower, the morning glory.
Yeah.
And in this arrangement, or the way he's sort of organizing them and making them look pretty, his message is hope. And that's a lovely message. Hope is when you're kind of thinking that good things will happen in the future. Maybe times are tough now, things aren't aren't so easy. You're going through some trouble, but you have the feeling that tomorrow or the next day or the future, it will get better and better and better. And of course, when you're going through tough times, having hope can be one of those things that kind of keeps pushing you along and making you face the day and, face those troubles, because somewhere in your heart, things will get better.
Yes, they will.
Absolutely. And having a flower arrangement like that, I think, would make anyone, put anyone in a better mood.
Absolutely.
Just like going to see Tina. I already have hope that she's going to teach us wonderful things.
Hi, I'm Tina. Nicholas 在上插花课，老师 Sprite 称赞他的作品有模有样。Nicholas 说他想用鸢尾花和牵牛花来传达希望。对话里提到了这些单字 hope 名词指的就是希望。Ken never loses hope even when things are hard. 即使事情很困难 Ken 也不失去希望。文法的部分刚刚提到了 come along 有进展，常搭配现在进行时使用。我们来看看这个例句。My brother's project is coming along nicely. 我哥哥的专案进展得很好。接着我们回到对话当中。
Okay, so Nicholas was trying to express hope through his flower arrangement.
That's right, using irises and morning glories, right?
Yes, which I think is really cool because he's not just trying to make it look beautiful, but he's trying to say something.
There you go.
And Miss Price says, I can see that. So she can see that he's trying to express hope, right? You can also add peonies and orchids. Okay, so she's suggesting that he add some other flowers that can also express what he is trying to express.
Interesting. So I guess if we're trying to give someone a message of hope, then these flowers, irises, morning glories, peonies, and orchids are all really good for that. So if you have a friend who's going through a tough time, maybe a friend who's in the hospital and they just had an operation, you want to visit them, don't worry, you'll get better soon, that kind of thing. Those are good flowers to use. And apparently, Nicholas, he already knows this sort of language of flowers. He says, I know, but he says, I plan to mix in some daisies or carnations to show thanks. Wow, already we have so many different ways to say so many different things.
Yeah.
If you want to say thanks to someone, maybe for, making you a nice dinner, or like carnations for Mother's Day, thank you for being my mom and giving me life.
Yeah.
In all sorts of ways you can say thank you by using daisies and carnations too.
Very cool.
Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
All right. Well, let's say thanks to Tina. We're going to run out and buy some daisies or carnations to say thank you to Tina while you guys go over and spend some time with her.
Right.
Nicholas 正在和老师讨论加入哪种花让作品更好。Sprite 老师建议 Nicholas 也可以加入牡丹和兰花，不过 Nicholas 打算掺入一些雏菊或康乃馨来表达谢意。对话中提到的文法是 mix in， 指的就是混入、掺入。Mix 表示混合，比如说 mix in the flour slowly with the eggs， 慢慢的把面粉混入鸡蛋里。接着我们回到对话当中。
Okay, so yes, the language of flowers. I don't think we're quite fluent, but I'm getting comfortable in the language of flowers, and my Japanese are about as good as each other right now. Yeah, I'm speaking a little bit more and I'm a little bit more confident. Let's go to the second part of the dialogue, learn more about this, and we'll be right back.
You really aim high with your arrangements, don't you?
I try. I want to be as skillful as you and master flower arranging.
That's very kind of you to say.
Also, flower arranging isn't a hobby for me. It's going to be my future career.
Okay, Ms. Spry is the flower arrangement teacher. Nicholas is, I think he's like a star student. He's
Sounds
really
like it.
learning well and doing so much impressive stuff here. He's expressing hope and he's also giving thanks using flowers to communicate. And I think his teacher, Ms. Spry, is very impressed with what he's doing.
Okay, so Ms. Spry says, you really aim high with your arrangements, don't you? Okay, so you aim high. That means he's trying to do a really great job, right?
Yeah, he has very high standards and he's really going for it. And it seems he's doing a good job. And Nicholas, he's taking this very seriously. He says, I try to aim high. In other words, I try to do the best job that I can. And he says kind of why. I want to be as skillful as you and master flower arranging, my flower shifu. Yes, so basically he wants to be as good as his teacher.
Yes.
Not really to like take her job or anything like that. He just wants to be really good at this. He's interested in it and he would feel great if he could do a great job. In other words, he wants to have a lot of skill. He wants to be, yes, skillful. That's right. If you're really good at something, you're skillful. Maybe you do it really well. Maybe you know a lot about it. We generally would use this for things that we would do, often with your hands, a skillful cook, a skillful piano player, a skillful athlete in some kind of way. If you're really smart and knowledgeable, we might not use this word. We might say intelligent or smart or something like that. But if it's something you do, often using your body that you have to learn and get better at, then skillful is a very, very good word to use.
Yes, and he wants to master this thing of flower arrangement, right? So when you master something, it means to learn something very well. Or the noun, like I am a master of something, is another way to use it, right?
Yes.
For example, he mastered the piano after many years. So he became really good at playing the piano.
He became an expert.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's go over to Tina. She is going to teach us how to master English. Master it.
Sprite 老师认为 Nicholas 把自己的插花作品目标定得很高，但 Nicholas 希望能像老师一样技艺精湛，精通插花。对话里提到了的单字是 skillful 形容词，就表达技术熟练的。Helen is skillful at playing the guitar. Helen 很擅长弹吉他。Master 动词精通。It takes time to master a new skill. 精通一项新技能需要时间。文法的部分刚刚提到了 Somebody aims high. 某人把目标定很高。Aim 是动词，指的是有特定的目标。我们来看看这个例句。Jack aims high and wants to be a doctor. Jack 把目标定很高，想当医生。那接着我们回到对话当中。
Thank you, Tina. Now, Miss Spry responds, that's very kind of you to say. Why? Because Nicholas wants to be as good as she is, as skillful as she is.
He showed her a lot of respect by saying, I just want to learn and be as good as you, my wonderful teacher.
Yes.
So yeah, that's very kind of him to say. And Nicholas continues, and he says, also, flower arranging isn't a hobby for me. Okay. So it's not just something he wants to do as a hobby, just kind of for fun in his free time.
Yeah.
It's going to be my future career.
Wow.
Ooh, okay, so maybe he does want to steal her job. Or more likely, he wants to open a flower shop.
Yes.
Be a flower arranger for, weddings and parties and big events and things like that. Because when you think of big special events, flowers are often part of the decoration, right?
Yes.
And they have professional people to do that. But if you're doing something that could be your job, but you don't want it to be your job, you just like doing it for fun, it could definitely be a hobby. A hobby is something you enjoy doing in your free time, and it often involves doing something, right? You wouldn't really say, oh, my hobby is watching TV. That's more of a pastime or something like that. A hobby is something you might learn, you might take a class. If you do it, you'll get better and better at it. Often it again involves using your hands or something. Gardening, painting, cooking, playing music, things like that can be hobbies because they take a little time, a little effort, and you will get good at it. You can't really say, oh, I'm really good at watching TV or something. It's not really a hobby. That's a pastime. But if you're learning how to paint or learning how to cook or, as I say, play music, definitely. For example, painting is her hobby. And she might take classes or she might just do it a lot in her free time. But it's not her job. All right, let's go over to Tina.
Okay.
Sprite 老师感谢 Nicholas 窝心的称赞，而对 Nicholas 来说，插花不只是兴趣而已，也会是他未来要走的路。我们来看一下刚刚对话里提到的单字 Hobby 名词嗜好 Collecting stamps is my hobby 集邮是我的嗜好。接着我们回到对话当中。
Thank you, Tina. So we learned why he is trying so hard to be really good at flower arranging, right?
He wants it to be his job.
Exactly. So that sounds like fun. So he's learning a lot about how to use flowers to express things and how to arrange them. All right, now let's review the dialogue again, and we will see you tomorrow to talk more about flowers.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Nicholas is at a flower arrangement class.
Your flower arrangement is coming along very nicely, Nicholas.
Thanks, Miss Spry. I'm trying to express hope with the irises and morning glories.
I can see that. You can also add peonies and orchids.
I know, but I plan to mix in some daisies or carnations to show thanks.
You really aim high with your arrangements, don't you?
I try. I want to be as skillful as you and master flower arranging.
That's very kind of you to say.
Also, flower arranging isn't a hobby for me. It's going to be my future career.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 Hope 名词希望 Skillful 形容词技术熟练的 Master 动词精通 Hobby 名词嗜好。接着我们来看文法的部分 Come along 有进展 How is Fiona's book report coming along? Fiona 的读书报告进行得怎么样了 Mix in 混入掺入Don't mix in the fresh cream, just put it on top. 不要把鲜奶油掺进去，淋在上面就好。Somebody aims high, 某人把目标定很高。Even though she might fail, Donna always aims high. 即使可能会失败 Donna 总是把目标定很高。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，那我们下一课再见喽，拜拜。
Hey, 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 it's KiWi on the street. I'm Kiki. And I'm Winnie. And it feels like forever. It feels like we've been making this brownie for like a month. Okay, we're going to bake it in this episode. But before that, we need to prep our pan. All right, so we are going to prepare our baking dish. And today I'm going to use a rectangular baking dish, but before we pour our batter into it, we're going to lightly grease our pan. I'm going to take some oil and spray it on there. Okay, and now that we have a lightly greased pan / dish, we are going to line it with some parchment paper. All right, now we have our lined baking dish. We have it lightly greased, we have parchment paper. That's kind of like overkill. I like to do both because that way when I take it out, it's gonna be easy. So now it is time to pour the batter.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to do it?
I don't really like this part, but I feel like I should help out.
Yeah, I think you should too.
We usually make brownies from a brownie mix box. I don't think we've ever done brownies from scratch.
Yes, there's a lot more steps, but I guarantee you it's gonna taste better. But for now, we're gonna say goodbye, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and send us a DM or an email if there's something you wanna say in English, but you just don't know how. Kiki, what do you wanna say?
I want my brownies.
It's coming, it's coming.
Kiwi later.